If semiconductors were a soccer league, NVIDIA would be the unstoppable striker who scores with both feet, and AMD would be the versatile midfielder who suddenly turns into a goal scorer when the team needs it. AMD competes head-to-head with NVIDIA in discrete GPUs and with Intel in CPUs, and lately it's been scoring big in revenue growth while the industry rewrites what compute even means. AMD versus NVIDIA, same field, different strengths. AMD and NVIDIA are locked in a friendly but ferocious rivalry in discrete GPUs. In gaming and consumer graphics, both firms fight for frame rate supremacy, driver stability, and price/performance. But in the AI-driven data center GPU market, the place that suddenly matters most because generative AI needs gigantic amounts of math juice, NVIDIA has been the dominant force. Over the past couple of years, data center GPUs went from niche to kingmaker for AI workloads, and NVIDIA pulled far ahead thanks to its product cadence, massive software ecosystem, CUDA, and early traction with hyperscalers and AI labs. That dominance is real. Many industry trackers and analysts peg NVIDIA's share of AI training GPU demand at extremely high levels, well into the multiple tens of percentage points, which explains why the competition looks uphill for AMD. But AMD isn't a one-trick pony: CPUs, server chips, and ecosystem muscle. While GPU headlines grab eyeballs, AMD's business runs on several powerful legs. It makes CPUs, Ryzen for PCs and EPYC for servers, that directly compete with Intel. Success in CPUs matters because server CPU wins drive data center relationships, and those relationships can later be leveraged for GPU and interconnect wins. That multi-product presence, EPYC in the data center, Ryzen on desktops and laptops, Radeon in graphics, and Instinct accelerators for AI, gives AMD a broader addressable market than a pure-play GPU vendor. In short, AMD can sell whole racks, CPU plus GPU plus interconnect plus software stack, not just a single card. Subtitle: not just a GPU company. The numbers: Q2 snapshot, growth, across the board. AMD's second quarter was legitimately impressive. Total revenue rose roughly 32% year-over-year to about $7.69 billion. Breaking that down by segment, data center revenue grew 14% to $3.2 billion. Client, PC/desktop CPUs, grew 67% to $2.5 billion. Gaming jumped 73% to about $1.1 billion. And embedded was down 4% to $824 million. These are not marginal moves. They show demand across CPUs, GPUs, and client devices accelerating simultaneously. That breadth is what makes AMD's quarter more than a single product pop. It's a multi-segment beat that hints at structural momentum. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. Why the data center piece matters, and why NVIDIA still rules the headlines. Data center GPUs are the backbone of modern AI training and inference. NVIDIA's early investments in hardware, plus the enormous software ecosystem around CUDA, gave it a runway to dominate the early AI boom. Hyperscalers and AI labs standardized around that stack, and that standardization is sticky. For AMD, the trick is both technical, to deliver chips that can match the throughput and efficiency for big models, and ecosystem, make it easy to run models on AMD hardware. AMD's Instinct MI350 series and the MI400 roadmap are built to close that gap, offering huge memory per GPU and rack-scale solutions that aim to appeal to hyperscalers and enterprise data centers. But standing up against the dominant incumbent requires time, software compatibility, and partnerships, which is why the data center GPU market still reads as NVIDIA first to many observers. Imagine an AI training center like a movie set. The director, the model owner, wants hundreds of cameras rolling in sync. NVIDIA has long provided the cameras and the director's preferred lens kit, CUDA, so directors know exactly how to shoot. AMD's strategy is to bring new lenses with better low-light performance and cheaper film stock. but directors have to be convinced to swap an entire rig. The MI350's huge memory is that better lens, great for massive models that don't fit on older cards. Convincing enough directors to swap rigs is the long game. Why client and gaming numbers are a big deal. Client, desktop/laptop, revenue jumping 67% and gaming up 73% signals two important things. First, AMD's Ryzen and RDNA architectures are resonating with consumers and OEMs. Second, consumer and gaming wins are healthier margins and great marketing. Gamers breed evangelists, enthusiastic buyers who post benchmarks, stream setups, and build guides that influence the broader PC market. That boom in client and gaming helps AMD fund R&D and gives it credibility when pitching EPYC and Instinct to enterprise buyers. Subtitle: Gamers are the best unpaid marketing team. Is AMD cheap? The valuation argument, and the caveats. Here's where the contrarian-friendly headline comes in. Some analysts and market write-ups argue AMD is trading for less than 27x next year's profit target, which, given its recent growth, feels reasonable and even attractive to some investors. Different data providers calculate forward PE in slightly different ways, but reputable sources show forward PE numbers in the mid to high double digits, and some estimates right around that 27x figure depending on the earnings estimate you use. That's the origin of the probably cheaper than you think take. If earnings grow materially in the next 12 to 24 months thanks to AI and server CPU wins, a sub-30x forward PE could look like a decent entry for long-term investors. With all the potential, AMD could hit $1,200 in the coming years. Note this as well. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say, rejoice. Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:4-7. If we fully obey the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth, and carefully follow all His commandments, He has promised to set us high above all the nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28. We shall be blessed when we come in and when we go out. I appeal to you to accept God and let Him be your guide, for He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31:8. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful content. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Faith and prayer will do what no power on earth can accomplish. See you in the next video by God's mercy.